Ooh, whoa. It is I. I'm back again. We're here to do it real Slim Shady this time with the boy, Aladdin. Aladdin. The one unique hero of the game that has a very different setup that does not cohesively compare to what everybody else in the game has. Go to slide attack. Aladdin. The only character in the game that has a charged-based trait. You call the lamp, and you have the ability to make a wish for 3 things. Dealing damage, creating dream shards, and magical object. And a defense heal. More powerful in multiplayer, to be sure. But in single player, you just do this. Doesn't matter if your map started with a well or not. You just pop all 3 of them. Getting magical objects is a form of power increase, so getting those is going to be extremely powerful for you. Like, period.
Easy work for a professional.
Like, I could not suggest a better thing for people to do. So, Aladdin. Melee character. He gets enchantment from the use and stacking of enchanted blades, which is used to empower his auto attacks. Ring Gen, giving him the ability to do charge damage, and a flip that allows him to become intangible as a defense that also applies vulnerability to a crossed enemy. Because his passive is effectively a charge that is situational based, if you're new, and I suggest to you to use special always to make shards for yourself, this is going to be the character that's going to force you to learn and to understand how powerful magical objects can be in your run. Most certainly. Because his ultimate isn't an ultimate like everyone else's. It's a consumption ultimate. You consume 150 dream shards to get another charge of the lamp. So this is it. This is your rotation. Gotta learn to make it fucking work. Fortunate thing is, you don't have to do a lot of effort. You just run around like this. Going across the dream chest. Immediately to the chest. We'll do King of Clubs. The charging effect of this is actually really hard to use on the power. The charge is actually based on your the charge damage is actually based on the distance between you and the target. So if you're up close, you don't get a full charge. You have to start from far away in order to get the full running effect. How do I describe the dichotomy of how Aladdin plays? He's very much hit and run. He can also be a menace with attack power and damage. He is probably one of the characters who's the most reliant on Vajra because of how well it plays into his damage and playstyle. The ability to get right on top of somebody, do damage, dash through, walk around a person, kite. Throughout this, charge back in, start autoing them down. That cycle is very comfortable because once you have some passive effects that give you the ability to do something like this from distance, to run in, get damage, get your jewels, and get out, it'll feel a lot different comparative to most situations that you could get put in. Because he can be very annoying, as you can see here. Even with his base sets and just one thing to give him damage. Although, technically, I didn't use slide attack at all there. His base level powers are not something that are very simple to use at all. All of his attack-based functions that are amplifications of his powers and his auto attacks, and some of the ones that are passively effective for him, are hard to maintain and use because you don't want to be in the face of the enemy without the tools to fight them at all. I would say he probably maybe even wants to have life on hit, to be quite honest. Besides this, I wouldn't say Aladdin's hard.
Is there no end to the fighting?
He just has a particular learning curve. And once you master the learning curve, you'll be in for it.
An exploit worthy of a prince.
Aside from that, you're going to be able to do a lot with movement, and with the extra money earning making the beginning of the game, is definitely a person who's going to make you want to learn how to make use of proper magical effects. One thing you have to definitely get used to is the same kind of movement strats as other characters. Getting used to channeling, targeting, and summoning. Have enough to actually get this immediately.
Easy work for a professional.
Yes. Oh, I miscalculated by 30. Please tell me there's another one right here. No? Yes? Yes. Wonderful. It's Vorpal Blade, definitely.
One for the collection.
Now, builds. There isn't really one particular kind of build that is prevalent on him overall. And there's really not a focus on what spell is better than others. As you saw in the beginning there, he does have a stack quest for his defense spell in combination with his special. Wonderful. It's definitely going to be dive. It's either healing blades or dive. Both work here, but because I already have on-hit effects that work with my click abilities, we're just going to go for the simple weaving combos. We are taking armor.
When those horrors aren't around, would like it better.
Doesn't have any particular build he's really strong with. He is very much a jack of all trades. The only thing that he really exceeds in is combo ability with his defensive spells to really evade around enemies. But outside of that, he's not particularly special in any one type of way. Like, for example, what I just did there was just the simplicity of just kiting. Like, I wouldn't say a really good kiter, I'd say he's an effective kiter. Nice. I would also say, if you're very smart about it, he is probably one of the many characters who you definitely want to get your skills to legendary on. Because unlike many of the other characters, he is a character who his scaling is very much in his skills abilities. Because his ability to do things with his charge effects, for example, his enchantment, gets better with levels inside of it. I can only imagine that it's something important. No, it's crystal. And I'm out his bitch. But I would say play by ear, by what you get and how you feel. I personally would go for charges on him, because he performs really well when his abilities get additional charges, if anything. Vajra is very much a must secure immediately case basis. Otherwise, you're going to be very disappointed with how little damage you're dealing and how little uptime you're able to get with your abilities. Like, as you can clearly see here. Especially with enemy types like this. They can be a bit of a nightmare to fight and kite through. Oh, with a little bit of can-do attitude and some understanding of how your shit works. Or take a charge as well. With a little bit of can-do attitude and understanding how your shit works, you can be able to roll them. Wonderful. Although, the one thing you have to do, and you have to be sure of, is especially when using his special, because I believe it works like this. I know it works like this once you take a particular upgrade. Possibly doesn't work like that, not because I don't have the upgrade. So never mind, that won't actually matter. There's an upgrade where you can be able to have a spin attack that is prolonged by having it out there. Because I have 2 charges and I don't have that, I don't actually have to worry about it in that fashion. Can I find a teleport? Because as I was trying to say earlier, he is definitely a character who you want to try and get these maxed out legendary as quickly as you possibly can. To a matter of convenience. I am literally trying to find a goddamn way to get to a fucking teleport without there being enemies around, because then I'll end up leveling. There.
We are nearing our goal. I can feel it. Is there no end to the fighting?
But with a little bit of powers, you can go from a normal demonstration of how he plays to something wild like this. It is very convenient. Nice. It is very convenient. The ability to see, and there's a perfect example of one of the ones I was talking about. It is very easy to be able to really get a grip on and understanding the best ways upon which you can best use your abilities. Because this enchantment effect here on acrobatics is similar to another one that is a passive gain of enchantment as well. Because once you have charges in his spells, and you're able to use those charges well, you have the ability to start just flipping and dipping across people in the combat so that you never have to stop auto-attacking. We're going to go for crit chance now. Then once we go from this grimoire, we'll go back down to this maximum HP and then continue moving. It's really going to handle on the charged nature of his abilities and how they really want to be augmented well. There's literally nothing you can't do with him. Give him a little bit of shielding and give him a little bit of healing on his kit, and you're able to do a lot of fucking wacky shit. Use any or all of his abilities like combat maneuvers to avoid, and you're pretty much in the fucking money. We're taking the dream. We're taking the dust, bruh. We're taking the bros, bruh. He's probably the best user of shards for the shop for the particular reason because he creates them. And at least his movement when it comes to being able to run like this is somewhat fairly semi-consistent. As you can see there, once you give him some fucking crits, let that man fucking cook! Not crazy enough to start it. Though I am running out of time. That's one shot. Graveyard event. Still no keys. There's the other tumor. Ah, here we go. Here's the key. That's not enough. Looking for another crystal. Please drop 5. Yes, it does. Looking for the cave elite. Guess I'm never lucky. The real question is, can I take the graveyard? Let's take armor.
It is far too quiet around here for my liking.
Guess we'll find out.
We are nearing our goal. I can feel it.
Wonderful. Crit damage coming through there. Please give me something good. Pretty much all of that is shit. It's power.
You work for a professional.
So, what if you ever get pulled into the boss event? Just remember that detail about your ultimate, that it does not matter. Especially if you end like you do all runs with 0 shards. You can go into the boss with shards, but preferably you do not want to waste them if you're not going to be using them for charges. Really should be dodging over them. It's a bad habit that I don't. Although if there's one thing that is a weak part of Aladdin's kit, is that without having shielding or healing, you very much are reliant on life orbs or the life steal effect if you're able to get in your run for DPS. It does not feel good to be dependent on it, I can tell you that much. Poison zones are horrible. Ouch. With a slime like that, I had to end that cycle. But yeah. That is 4 down. 4 down now. 2 to go. Yeah, Aladdin is, he's an interesting boy. He's an interesting boy. It'll be a challenge, I can guarantee you, to learn how to use him effectively. Because most of his spells are lacking in desire in terms of, like, utility and power. He's very much based on how many stat sticks can you stick into him through magical objects to make him stronger. But he'll get a handle on it. Good luck out there. See you next time.